What's up, friends? We have a lot to talk about. So at CES, Lenovo has showcased a lot of the upcoming Motorola phones and have teased a lot of new series that is going to be a first time for Motorola in general. One being the Motorola Signature series that we will cover in a future video. But secondly, and more importantly, Lenovo, aka Motorola, is getting into the book style foldable race. They are calling it the Motorola Razr Fold. And to answer all of your questions, it is confirmed to be coming in the United States. So that is definitely going to be a huge shift in the market. And just to mention, the Razr Fold probably would have been the best name they could have came up with, just because Razr is already known for fold displays as is, and it's already Motorola's most popular name. Bringing it into the Razr Fold category, I think that was just a cherry on top. I think it's going to translate with people super easily, and I think it kind of places the Razr Fold already at the top of Motorola's portfolio, being that the Razrs are Motorola's cream of the crop in terms of their premium devices. Motorola did tease a foldable device before CES actually happened, and it is very interesting to point out that on the teaser it does say every fold reveals a possibility. However, we all expected a book style foldable device due to the shape of this tease, which would have fell in line with potentially what Samsung is coming out with later this year, as well as what Apple may be coming out with as well. This smaller, passport design. What we actually got is a 6.6 inch cover display that opens up into a 8.1 inch main display, which is more on lines of what the Z Fold is, what the Pixel series is, although that one's a little bit shorter. I'm not sure if this teaser is still in play or if it was just a weird mishap in terms of the shape. Maybe it was to kind of throw us off a little bit, but we're gonna go with what we got for right now in this actual official announcement. Now, in terms of specs, I'm going to read this out because honestly I haven't memorized this myself just because it's so new. We have on the cover display, as we mentioned, it's a 6.6 inch, which is kind of falling in line right above the Pixel, but right below the Samsung Z Fold 7. However, when unfolded, it's actually an 8.1 inch, which is slightly larger. It's very, very slight. It's not going to be noticeable, to be honest with you, but it is slightly larger than Samsung and what Google offers as well. Now, we don't officially know what the actual chipset is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be last year's Snapdragon device, but potentially, grain of salt on this one, a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor, which would fall more in line with what the Razr Ultra is using as well. Just not confirmed, so until then, we don't officially know that. But best case scenario is it is using that for what the price is gonna be. I hope they don't cheap out and do what they did with the previous Razrs, but we'll see in that. It is going to be rocking 16 gigabytes of RAM, so already more than what the Samsung offers, but it is on line of what the Pixel offers. But the biggest thing, and this is very Motorola-like, is it's starting at 512 gigabytes worth of storage right off the bat. So that is already a huge plus, because typically with other OEMs, you have to kind of pre-order to get that goodie or pay extra, unfortunately. But Motorola being Motorola, they're just packing 512 right out the box. So that's already a huge plus, especially for what we're going to talk about pretty soon. Now, in terms of the cameras, it is going to be using a triple 50 megapixel array, being a ultra wide / macro, a periscope telephoto, so it's going to be along the lines of what the Samsung is offering in terms of zoom capability. Not so much on the Pixel. Pixel is only at 20 times, not going to get as far. And then that 50 megapixel main sensor for the rear is going to be just straight up. We're going to have to see what that offers 32 megapixel front selfie camera for that cover display. But then in terms of durability, it is going to be assumed IP48. So not fully dust resistant, but it can withstand some, you know, minerals. And then as well as water, it can do submergible up to 5 feet of water for 30 minutes. Battery life, we're not 100% sure on, but I'm assuming it's going to be it being Motorola, let's assume good and say a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. I know it is going to be slim, not as slim as the Z Fold, probably more along the lines of what the Pixel is. I'm not completely sure, but let's just assume 5,000 since it is a little bit bigger, maybe even more, fingers crossed. So that being said, if it does come out with the newest Snapdragon processor, that is putting it along the lines of the greats, right? It's going directly hand to hand with the Samsung. And the biggest thing, and this is probably going to get a lot of Samsung customers, is it does have stylus support. Now, the stylus is going to be sold separately, but it is stylus support capable. It is going to have a Motorola stylus that's going to have its own carrying case. It's going to be a traditional size like pen stylus, and it is going to have stylus support. I know on the Z Fold 7, a lot of people were very upset that they removed the S Pen support. So this might garner a lot of Samsung customers to try out the Motorola. I know the Razr Ultra was very successful in doing that against the Samsung Z Flip 7. And I think this is only going to attract more customers to Motorola. And if that is the case, that is exactly what we are wanting, because competition is good, right? If that happens, Samsung's gonna have no choice but to find a way to put that S Pen back onto that Z Fold. Whether it's Bluetooth or whatever the case may be, a win is a win. So I am super happy about that. The more people that do these phones, the more competition, the more innovation. It is fantastic. I love it. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be very fierce. It's already faster than the Pixel. Anything really is faster than the Pixel. Tensor really needs to catch up. Now, the biggest thing that Motorola has to figure out if they want to be successful is the price. Whatever this price is going to determine the success of this device. I believe if they undercut Samsung's 2000 and maybe make it 18, I hope they don't make it 18. I really hypothetically wish they made it cheaper, but those Snapdragon processors are very expensive, and it's starting at 512 gigabytes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's a folding display. It's everything. I'm not expecting it to be 1600. I'm assuming it's going to be placed at 1800 just so it can kind of be at that same price as the Google Pixel Fold, while still undercutting the Samsung Fold. I think that's a good sweet spot that Motorola can kind of stay in that pocket and kind of take away from Google, as well as garner all of that attention from Samsung. Because I truly don't believe if they charge $2,000 for it, I think people are just going to go with the Samsung regardless. So whatever they price this at is going to determine how successful they are. But fingers crossed it is competitive. I think the biggest thing right now for Motorola is to make this competitive. They've done very well with the Razrs up until the Ultra, where it was actually more expensive than the Samsung. I just truly hope that they get this price right, because this is going to really disrupt the current market as we know right now. But the best thing about this is Motorola is known for just promotion. It's known for just dropping the price tag all the time. So that being said, I think once these phones are on sale, which will be relatively soon after they come out, hypothetically, I think it's going to be very disruptive. I think it's going to sell really well. I think it's going to undercut Samsung and take away a lot of customers. And especially, like I said, with the stylus support, I think that's just going to be a very good sweet spot to just grab Samsung customers. Just because that S Pen support is highly valued and they removed it entirely. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you did find the video very entertaining, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.